Booyah! Alright, tippy time, my damies, and welcome to episode Nizzle for Shizzle of Reviewedly Interrupted with me, your host, Pootie Tang. And yeah, this episode, I'm going to be reviewing one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. It's like it's always in top five. It's like number 3 or 4. For real, number 3 or 4. Because it's like, number 1, Cannibal Holocaust. Anybody that knows me knows that is my number 1 favorite movie of all time, which I will be reviewing down the road sometime. I got a special plan for that one. And Session 9 is number 2. It's always going to be number 2. That is, like, if you've seen Session 9, you know what I'm talking about. It's so good. I don't know. It's just the vibe. It hits me where I really dig it. You know, and then Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Yes, this movie is fucking terrific. It sucks that they couldn't get the sequel going. It's like, this movie is, I don't know. If you're a fan of it, you're a fan of it. If you're not, you're not. You know, and I'm a big fan of it because I just look at it and I watch it and I'm just like, how it builds, how it's crafted, put together. It's so funny. It's a horror comedy that doesn't really come across as a horror comedy at first. You know, it's not just like straight gags and like in your face or like, you know, Evil Dead, fucking crazy amounts of blood and gushing and, you know, it's nothing outright, but it's just like how it's done. If you're a real horror fan and you get it, it is absolutely hilarious, but it's also a great fucking slasher. You know, and just all the little Easter eggs that are thrown in there. It's got some really tight fucking cameos in it and shit. And yeah, it's just like one of my faves. And I'm so glad that Scream Factory came out with like this awesome collector's edition and shit. I had the DVD, which is like this plain cover, a couple special features and everything. And I was really happy to be able to get this in high def and see it in high def because it's a really terrific fucking movie and I love it. And a lot of nice special features on here. I think some of them are different ones, but like the deleted and extended scenes, there's some that I wish that they would have like thrown in there just because like they actually do add to just the humor of the movie, and it's like it doesn't like, it's not like it would throw it too far like off pacing or throw it just in a where it made no sense or anything. It was just like some of the extended scenes are just, some of the dialogue is just like, oh man, that's great. So it'd be cool if they did just release like a director's cut down the road. So Scott Glosserman, yes, a director's cut. I mean, if this is the way you want it, cool, but like fucking an extended director's cut would be fucking sick. I would dig it. But yeah, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I'm gonna go watch this shit for like the 20th time. It's like it gets watched like a few times a year because every once in a while I'll be like, oh, what should I watch? And all of a sudden, boom, this one pops up and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Gotta love it. So, yeah, I'm going to go watch this amazing, become a modern cult classic because of, you know, it was supposed to get a sequel, didn't, and now it stands alone. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. So, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Take your hands out of your pants. You're not supposed to have your hands in your pants when you're watching this because this is a serious show and you're not taking this seriously. And I really wish that for once in your life you would take something seriously because your mother and I have been talking and we're thinking of sending you to maybe a group home where, I don't know, maybe you can kind of get your act straight, or like maybe we'll do a whole Andy Barclay fucking send you to military school, and then Chucky becomes friends with a little black kid who don't know any better, and then he's gonna do all this shit, and then I gotta go save him, and then weird sequels that don't follow anything with the original really after that and stuff. But I don't know. Just think it over. Like we'll talk about this more later, because I'm gonna go watch Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon now. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Outta. Well, coal me down on the penny sty. This movie's so fucking great. I mean, I've seen it like quite a few fucking times. It's just, and I don't know. It seems like the more you watch it, the more you kind of like see stuff and everything else. It's just like with every watch, there's like a little more, another tidbit. It's like basically 80% of this fucking movie is just foreshadowing. It's like everything's kind of like starts getting laid out from the beginning, and then as it plays out, it's just like, fuck, dude. And I don't know. It's just so fucking great. I mean, just the dialogue, and I really wish that some of the extended scenes would have made it in that bitch. Because, I don't know, like I said, it wouldn't have messed up the pacing or anything like that. So, yeah. I mean, I really, like, there's certain movies that just stick out that just, like, there's something about them that just encapsulates them for me, that I'm like, this is like an important movie, just for the fact that it's like there's something solid and unique, and it's got this vibe, and this is like so fun and so campy without being like campy. It's fucking weird. It's like, it's so like in your face with its like humor and everything else, and yet it just plays so straight. It's like, it's basically a fucking sociopathic movie about a sociopath. It's fucking nuts, you know? And like, really a shout out to like the motherfuckers that cameoed in here, you know? Like, especially Robert Egan playing that part, and R.I.P. Zelda Rubinstein, the Steiner brothers. She was their mom. I don't know if anybody else knew that, but she's actually Mama Steiner brother. So Google it. Whatever. You don't believe me? Fucking Google it. Whatever. I don't care. See if I care. Don't care. Won't care. I care a little bit. We care a lot. But anyway, like, I don't know. It's just great. The performances are just so fucking great. Cameos. Even Kane Hodder popping in there, you know, doing a little cameo. It's like, when the motherfuckers do that, those are the motherfuckers that horror fans are like, that motherfucker loves horror too. That motherfucker's a fan. That motherfucker's cool. You know, not just like, because I mean, this was a totally like independent fucking film and shit, you know? And it's not a big budget. It's not fucking big studio. But these motherfuckers are like, dude, I'm in. You know, I would love to do it, you know? I'm sure they got paid. I don't know how much they got paid. I don't even care how much they got paid. Just the fact that they were like, not like, oh, you know, no, I was fucking Freddy Krueger, dude. I'm like, everybody knows me. No, he's like, I'm down. And the same thing, Kane Hodder and everything else, dude. Just fucking great and just so funny. It's just like, the more I watch it, the more I see the fucking humor. And it's like basically a comedy that all of a sudden like turns into a slasher. And I love how it jumps back and forth between like a more cinematic like camera to like a found footage type camera. It jumps back and forth and everything else. And then all the little Easter eggs and everything else in there. I just fucking really love it. And I always, it's like, if you're a fan of the film, like, you know, someone that's like, dude, I fucking love that movie. It is a great fucking movie. Then you do the same thing I do every fucking time. It don't fucking matter. Movie ends, credits start to roll, fucking psycho killer, all the way to the end. And what I love is, like, I swear, dude, if all of a sudden some huge financial, like, like huge financial windfall. It'd have to be like pretty fucking big. Like fell in my fucking lap for some reason. Like I had some like crazy rich fucking uncle that all of a sudden was like, I don't know, that motherfucker over there, give him all this shit. And I'd be like, all right, cool. Like, they wanted to make the prequel sequel. That shit would get made. And it's open on the end for a fucking sequel, you know? So it's like, this could have been like a whole franchise and it would have been beautiful. Like, of course, like a lot of people would have probably started getting pissed off around like the third or fourth one because it's like that's how franchises usually go. It's like they can still be good and solid, but it's like the initial, that first bite, you know, is like the one that sticks with you and shit. And like, you know, people probably would be like, oh, that fucking sucks. Like, I love fucking later Friday the 13th movies. Like Jason Goes to Hell, I fucking love it. Jason X, huge fan of Jason X, because it's like, dude, how gonzo is that shit? Oh my god, it's Jason in space in the future. That's fucking hilarious and that's fucking great. It's like, dude, it doesn't have to be the best of the franchise, but it's a fun one. That's just fucking, it's like Leprechaun 4 in space. What the fuck is that little son of a bitch doing in space in the future or whatever in the fuck he's doing, you know? It's like, seriously, what the fuck? But it's goofy and it's campy and it's like, fuck it, dude, just have fun with that one. The first one, he's like evil little shit. Second one, he's still an evil little shit. Third one, I think, is like when it starts getting a little goofy and then, you know, they get goofy, whatever. It probably could have happened to this series, but I don't give a fuck. I want like 80 more of these goddamn Leslie Vernon movies. Right now. God damn it, right now. Give it to me now. I mean, the movies. Shit. Anyway, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just so engrossing. Every time it's on, I'm just like sucked in, you know, because it's just so great watching the interplay and everything else. And I just really, really love how this movie is made. And like I said, it will always be like number 3 or number 4 on my list of like faves, because I just think there's something really fucking special about this movie. And it's like, if you really sit down and you get it, and the more you watch it, the more you get even, it's just fucking great. And there's just so much to love about it. And they need to make more of these, and everybody should watch it and go get this copy and shit like that. It's pretty fucking tight. If you're a fan, I mean, this is right now the definitive edition with all the, like, the special features and shit through, yeah, what's it, we're on Scream Factory. So, like, definitely pick that up. And if not, it's like it's streaming and shit. If you're like, I don't really want to pick it up, but, you know, I wouldn't mind watching it. I think like in my one folder here on YouTube or whatever, it's the full movie, a link to the full movie, and I think there's other links on YouTube, and it might be streaming somewhere. Tough to tell. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's like, nah, dude, get the fuck out. This shit ain't happening. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. You know, it's like, I don't know, give me your opinion on it. I know that there's like pretty much everybody I've shown this to, that I've personally shown this to, has been like, that was a pretty goddamn good movie. So, I don't know. It's not just me. I can finally say that about one thing. Everything else, it's just me. It's just me. That smell you smell? My bad. Next week, the Funhouse Massacre. Now, this one, I don't think gets enough credit. I mean, it's like it's another thing where it's like all these great horror motherfuckers like pop up in there, like Clint Howard. Clint Howard is so fucking cool, man. Like if the movie says Clint Howard's in the shit, I'm getting the shit. I'm watching the shit. I love the shit. Ice Cream Man, all that kind of shit. Fucking Carnosaur. Like, you know, another one with Robert Englund and shit like that. But I think this is another really super fucking solid modern horror movie. It's like retro but new. It's like, you know, it's got better gore effects, more gore effects, all this other kind of shit, but it's got a really 80s fucking vibe to it. And I think this is kind of like a modern cult classic that I think it isn't going to catch on like hugely until like later, because I think it's going to be one of those ones where people are going to start stumbling across or remembering. You know how it happened with our generation. Where it's like, man, there was this movie I used to fucking rent on VHS and everything, and I couldn't remember the name, and all of a sudden I saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, is that the one? And I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, fucking yeah, and I showed my friends, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Showed my kids, because, they're horror fans too, but, that kind of shit. So that's what I'm going to be doing on the next episode Tizan. Yeah. But that's next time. And this is the dramatic conclusion to episode 9 of Reviewedly Interrupted, covering Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I tell you what, when those motherfuckers realize that shit is happening for real, it's like a turning point in the movie. It's just like, oh, it's like so great, because it plays like, well, how's this going to go? And then it's like, oh, it really is going to go that way. And it turns into a great slasher. And that's fucking beautiful. Where it's like, I don't know. It's just like the horror fan, that slasher horror fan in me is just like, fuck yeah, it's on now. And yeah. I don't know. I'm like fucking gushing over this movie and everything. I'm going to have to like get a tissue to wipe it off a little bit. So that's good. I got it. Never mind. I got it. But yeah, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Until next time, boys and girls. I am your host, Pootie Tang, and this has been Reviewedly Interrupted. Outta. Booyah!